Am I going to invest 10 lakh rupees into this stock? If yes, at what price? Please stay tuned until at the end of this video so that you understand the logic behind that. This stock is completely an underdog stock, which means most of the investors are fully ignored this potential of the stock. This has given a huge, tremendous 9000% return in 1 year, which is from 2021 till today. For example, if you have invested 10 rupees in the year 2021, by this time the 10 rupees will become 9000 rupees, which is almost like a 9000%, which is a heavy, huge returns for any stock. This company is incorporated in the year 1943, which is listed under NSE in 1999. The promoters holding of this stock is 90%, and the domestic institutional investors has a hand of 8.9% into the specific stock. This company has a huge potential in future, which is going to grow and give us a 10x returns. I have done a very thorough technical as well as the fundamental analysis of this stock. This company is completely in a parallel channel where both the buyers and the sellers are trying to make an upper hand, but in last week the buyers had a huge upper hand with a volume of 80 million in one specific day. This volume has never been happened into this specific stock. This is a huge volume into that company, and the sector is a fertilizers and the chemical company, and the stock which I am going to discuss today is FACT, Fertilizers and the Chemical Travancore Ltd, which has a huge growth in future. Let me explain you with the help of candlestick patterns, support and the resistance, buyers and the seller psychology, why I am referring this stock for all my subscribers to go ahead and keep in your radar. Keep this stock under your radar and make sure you enter at the right price so that you will get a very huge big returns in future. Before entering into any stock, you need to keep two things in mind. One is the stop loss and the other one is exit price, as I always said. Make sure you subscribe the channel, because whenever I posted a video on a breakout stocks, you could get a notification immediately so that you can able to act and enter into the specific stock with a very low risk and reward.
Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Let's have a discussion on a fundamental analysis of fertilizers and the chemicals at Travancore Ltd. If you see the market capital of this stock, which is almost like 17,000 crore, the market capital, and the stock is 52 weeks high is 295 rupees and the 52 weeks low is 82.4 rupees. The stock has never given any dividend from the year 1999, which is unlisted into this NSE, and the return of interest, return of equity which you show here is 9432%, which means which has given a 9000% profits from the year 2021 till today. The company is in a fertilizers the chemicals sector, which is the number one company which is incorporated and have a huge large scale fertilizers plant in India at Kochi, which is Kerala. So if you come to the piece, these are the competitors of this specific company, where you could able to see their prices and where you could able to see their market capitals and the dividend yield, how much is the dividend which those competitors are paying to the investors. If you see the quarterly results, the quarterly results of this company is which has given a 145 crore per quarter, which is in September 2022, which is a little bit high when it compares to the previous quarter. If you see all the quarterly results from the year 2019, 145 crore per quarter is the best for this company. See, which has given more than 100 crore profit in quarter is almost like 1, 2 and then 3, 4, and this is the fifth time which is having a good quarterly results for this company. And the profit on the last statement is like the profit for this company for the quarter, for the coming quarter, which is March 2023, is 559 crore, which is a tremendous profit. Which you compare it with the net profit, this company is almost in a loss until March 2018, and then it turned from minus 129 crore loss into 163 crore profit, and then it has given a tremendous profit of 976 crore in the year 2020, and then now it has given a good profit. I understand that this is a little bit less when it compared to 2020, but when you compare it with 2021 and 2022, the profit which is going to be happen in March 2023 is 559 crore, which is a good for me when it comes into the fundamental. And the balance, the total assets of this company has increased tremendously. If you compare it with from March again 2011, if you see the total assets of this company has increased tremendously from 1802 to 4904. So the cash flows of this company you could able to see here in the chart, and the shareholding pattern. The shareholding pattern of this company is you could able to see the shareholding pattern in a different site, where I could see that the promoters holding of this company is 90%. See, and the domestic institutional investors has hand off 8.97%, which is almost like a 9%, and the public public investment is 1.03%. So the promoters holding is very high in this company, plus the domestic institutional investors is almost like a 9%, which is a very good sign for any stock. If the promoters holding is huge, then there could be huge profits which are going to be happen, because like the promoters are holding a majority of this stock in the specific companies. Let's go ahead and deep dive my favorite, which is the technical analysis. If you see the chart, which is from the year 1999, where the company is listed in NSE, this stock is completely in a parallel phase, which means both the buyers and the sellers are trying to make an upper hand on this stock. But finally in the year 2021, where you could able to see the bulls has a huge upper hand with a volume of 22 million in 1 day, in 1 week. This is a chart of a week. In 1 week, the buyers has a volume of 22 million in 1 week, where the stock has given a huge potential breakout, that is from 85 rupees until 126 rupees, which is almost like 40 rupees hike. But and then again the stock was in the consolidated mode, meaning like again both the buyers and the sellers are trying to make an upper hand on this specific stock. But finally, just before last week, if you see these green candles with a very little volume, which has given a huge potential of 80 million volume in 1 week, where the stock has increased from 156 rupees until 267 rupees, which is almost like 100 rupee in 1 week. So these are the chart which I have clearly jotted down, where I am thinking of entering into the stock again is exactly at this price, which is at 226 rupees. Currently the stock is at 266 rupees, but I am not going to enter the stock into 266 rupees, and I am going to enter the stock at 226 rupees. As I always said many times, I don't chase the stocks. I will enter and I will deploy my money when the stock is under my zone and my radar only. So whenever I feel a comfortable zone where I could able to enter the stock, because of a very low risk and a high reward ratio, I always consider the low risk and high reward ratio. So the reason, whenever the stock has given a huge potential breakout, I don't enter it immediately with a huge greedy. I will wait for the stock and I will analyze the stock, and I will wait for the stock until that stock comes under my zone. So my zone exactly for this stock is at 223 rupees. So I could suggest all my subscribers and the buyers whoever want to enter into this stock, you can able to enter the stock at the price in between 224 rupees to 230 rupees, and you can able to keep a stop loss of 206 rupees. This is the best stop loss because, like, see, if you keep the stop loss just below this zone where you could there were most chances where we all could able to fake out. So to avoid the fake out losses, I would suggest you to keep the stop loss at 206 rupees and enter the stock in between 224 to 230. So my suggestion is to wait for some more time, let the stock retrace until this zone, which is almost in between 224 rupees to 230 rupees, and enter into the stock and make sure you keep the stop loss at 206 rupees. So let's discuss the possibilities how the stock can move in further. Let's have a negative discussion first, which means, like, if for example the stock is not going to go in a positive trend and the stock is going to be in a negative trend, right? So we have a one chance where the stock may down from here to this low, where that's why I suggest you to keep the stop loss here. The other chance is where we could able to see that stock may down from here to here, the point like 223 rupees, and then again will give us a huge returns in the positive side. And the other way around is, like, we could able to see that the stock may come down until this green candle, green zone, which is almost like a support zone for the stock, which is at 179 rupees. But I don't think that the stock is going to be come again at 183, in between 179 to 183 rupees. I'm sure that this stock is going to retrace until at 223 rupees and will go in a positive way where we all could able to get a huge returns in future. So make sure you enter the stock at right price. Make sure you keep the stop loss at all the time. As I said many times, we are just assuming as per the technical and the fundamental analysis. In the stock market, it may happen anytime because, like, the stock market is interrelated with many things which are global issues and Indian growth, where we don't know what exactly is going to be happen tomorrow. So when there is a huge panic selling in the market, or when there is a huge bad news in the market, then none of these technical and the fundamental analysis are going to work. So you need to keep in mind that all the stocks, which whatever the fundamental and the technical analysis which we are doing right now, will only be applicable when the markets are in stable phase. When there is a huge bad news, or when there is a huge panic selling in the market because of some global crisis, then at the time the fundamental and the technical analysis will never work. So you need to make sure you keep the stop loss at all the time, so that you will exit from the stock with a very less loss, and you still have a very good capital in your hand, so that you could able to enter into a different best stock. So if I want to enter into the, yes, I'm thinking of deploying 10 lakhs rupees into the stock, but not right now immediately. I'm going to deploy the amount when the stock is into my zone, which is exactly at in between 224 rupees to 230 rupees. So I will wait for some more time and will buy the stocks and will get a good returns in future. Thank you very much for watching. Have a happy, healthy, wealthy and successful life.
Hello fellow investors, welcome. You need to keep in mind that this is not an entertainment channel. The channel is all about stock market trading, especially breakout stocks, which will give all of us a lakhs of rupees in return. Please make sure you subscribe the channel and click bell icon so that you will get a notification whenever I posted a video on breakout stocks. Your big opportunity is right where you now. If you miss one best opportunity, you will lose lakhs of rupees. If you were not responded or reacted on time, then you will never ever get that stock under your zone again. Thank you very much for watching and subscribing.